Across from where I live, our neighbor put in a pond. Oh my goodness, must be 15 years ago. And you know, he threw some fish in there from time to time. After he went fishing, he'd come home with a few small bass or small sunfish or whatever, and he'd throw them in there, and he developed quite a bit of algae over the years. And you know, it's a good place for his horses. He had some horses at one time. He had more than this one. They just drink from there. Anyway, that pond has a certain significance to the eggs that are down in the hole that I have this cover over, and this rock holding it down. Down in there you'll see some white eggs. Now those eggs, let me zoom in here where we can get a close-up. Way down there. Come on, baby, get on down there. She don't want to zoom in. Don't ask me why. There we go, finally. Now those white eggs down there are oblong in shape. They're oval. And we've been calling those eggs box turtle eggs. But you know, the more I kept thinking about it, I kept saying, you know, I have never seen a box turtle around here that's big enough to generate an egg that size. So maybe it's a snapping turtle egg. And that pond I just showed you does have snapping turtles in it. And those babies are pretty big in size. I have had to carry at least one back over to the neighbor's property on a shovel and get rid of it. And I've seen others go through our yard. Anyway, these could be snapping turtle eggs, not box turtle. But the problem is, when you look up snapping turtle eggs, they're all perfectly round. They're not oblong like these are. So you can see that those are oblong. I don't know what to think about that. It's so I don't know. My one of my grandsons said they're probably snake eggs. Maybe boa constrictor. I don't know. We'll just have to continue to wait and see. We have had a small setback on my Blackstone griddle, and I am not happy at all. We've had a lot of rain here lately. Again, this summer's been nothing but rain from one end to the other. Anyway, it caused a couple of rust spots to develop in my seasoning that I had done on it. I can't understand how that happened. I mean, there was tons of grease on there that I had baked on, smoothed it down. It was looking real good. Anyway, I went ahead and removed all, it was just some surface rust. I went ahead and got rid of it with a Scotch-Brite pad, took it right down to the metal, and then I now have put I just showered down on it with some Crisco. And I'm going to let this stuff smoke real good. And then after it's done, I'm going to wipe it down. I'm going to do it again. Look what wifey has bought me. A while back, maybe 3 or 4 Mish-Mash videos ago, I was making some bread. And I said, you know, I really like that KitchenAid Artisan stand mixer. And I should probably look into getting one. I might look, you know, go downtown, look around. Well, she did it for me. Then she brought it home. Look at that thing. Is that so cool? I just love this. I would have liked to have a red one, about the color of that can right there. However, they didn't have any red ones. This thing comes in red, blue, yellow, white, black, and silver. There may be another color. I don't know. But the only thing they had, and the only place we could find them in town, was at Kohl's. K-O-H-L, Kohl's. I don't know if y'all, I guess you got them everywhere. And all they had was a silver one. She picked that up, and I'm happy. I'm happy. The primary reason I wanted the Artisan brand was because it came with this plastic thing, which I probably won't use all that much, but in case I need it, it's there. And you know, you can add your ingredients while the machine is going, and you don't have to worry about it flying everywhere. Also, I like the bowl with the handle on it. I don't know why they don't put handles on all their bowls. Why just, you know, this model and I think the one above it. All the bowls should have handles, guys. Put them on everything. And then it comes with that little whisker, and it comes with this paddle. And today we're going to be using the bread hook. And do you know why? Yes, we're going to make some white bread. Wifey, you know, she griped about my white bread last time. Said it's, you know, I think it was the last Mish-Mash video. I made her 2 loaves. She said it still wasn't good enough. Oh, really? Okay. Well, and guess now that I got this, things are going to change. We're going to show her who the bread king is around here, starting right now. Today I decided it was time to tear apart the old computer tower and blow out some of the dust. It had quite a bit in there. I've been working on it now for about 5, maybe 10 minutes. And most of it is just dust. You know, you gotta clean. You gotta do this about once every, I guess I do it about once every 4 or 5 months. And I just take the sides off. They're easy to get off. You take a couple of thumb screws loose from the back, and then both sides will slide right off. And it's kind of interesting what's in these things nowadays. I remember when the motherboard used to take up the entire back wall of one of these. Now we've got a motherboard with a cooling fan on top of the processor. We've got another cooling fan over here, and we've got a power supply. This is a what is that? I think that's the hard drive, and this up here is the CD-ROM drive. It goes in here. And that's it. Man, there's just not much to these things nowadays. Of course, I guess if they don't need it, they don't need it. Anyway, I cleaned mine with the old air compressor. I just bring out old Betsy here and crank her up, get her going, then start blowing out all the air. I've decided to pretty much start the seasoning process on this grill from scratch. It's nice and smooth right now, but I'm taking a Scotch-Brite pad, smoothing it down with a little bit of water, not much, just enough to kind of, it'll all evaporate. I heated it up and it's kind of warm right now, and it'll all just, it's already gone as you can see, but we're going to smooth down the entire surface with a Scotch-Brite pad. We're going to re-season it with new oil and start all over again. That's all I can do, really. I don't want any more problems with this thing. This is like my baby out here on the deck. Yeah, man, my baby grill. I'm going to be doing a lot of cooking here now. The temperature has even gone down. I might cook something tonight. Using the old air compressor is the only way to go with these. You know, you got to take the time. If you don't have an air compressor, canned air will be okay. It just doesn't have the necessary force to really blow out the fan blades. You know, the fan blade on the back of the power supply gets pretty caked up because it just collects it because of the speed of it. If you just blow it real good, blow it out real good, and there's holes up under here you can get to with the air compressor on the bottom of the power supply. These holes right here, you just kind of blow in there, and it'll loosen up just about all the air you need loosened. I mean, all the dust you need loosened. And then just go ahead and work, you know, spend a good 30 minutes on it at least. If you have something that has a little bit of dust, you can't quite reach it, get yourself a little paintbrush and kind of get down there and just kind of loosen up a little bit. Just be careful around your motherboard and around these veins underneath this fan here. Just got to kind of be careful, hold the fan still with one hand, just kind of gently stroke it with the other. All you're doing is loosening up the dust, and then you can blow it out, okay? Really nothing to it, piece of cake. Alright, here goes. I want this thing to have a nice coating of olive oil on it. You know, you can use peanut oil also. Keep in mind that peanut oil, I think I'll cover this in another Mish-Mash video later on when I'm doing my cooking, but peanut oil has a higher flash point than olive oil or vegetable oil. What does that mean? That means that it won't catch on fire quite as easily, okay? If you were to spill some like over on your stove or whatnot, it's always best to use peanut oil. And when you're doing deep frying and things like that, in case any of it spills over. Okay, she's looking pretty good. I've got a pretty good layer on there now. I'm also going to put it on the outside edges all the way around. Then we'll go ahead and turn it on and get her smoking. Boy, she's working real good. We got the old dough going. Man, that thing works great so far. I like it. The last thing I like to do before I button it back up is take, you know, a damp rag, not sopping wet, just damp. Just kind of give it a nice gentle wipe down everywhere. Try to stay away from the motherboard. You don't want to bend any of these pins, which you probably would not, but if the rag were to catch on them, you yank too hard, you never know. You know, just kind of stay away from it. Just kind of, this will catch up any last minute dust or anything. There's something right there. I don't even know what that is. I guess it's just metal discoloration. Just kind of give it a light rub down. That's all it takes. It doesn't take a whole lot, okay? This is the kind of thing you do out on the porch, on the deck, in the garage, you know, where you got plenty of time. One of those, let's kill a few hours deal, you know, just have fun doing this thing. I guess you wouldn't really kill a few hours. You can do the whole thing in 30, 40 minutes, you know. But just kind of take your time. Turn on some music if you got it. I should have done that, and I haven't done it. Just kind of give her all a good light wipe down, that's all. You know, stay away from your labels. And that gets the last minute dust that the air compressor may not have picked up, okay? It's not difficult to clean one's computer tower. Give the outside a good wipe down. Look at there. Look at there. Speckled paint. From where my wife decided to paint the ceiling here not long ago. Oh, yeah, she covered it all up all right. Wifey. Well, they're rising in the pan, and they have come up above the level of the pan. I got about another 15 minutes of letting it rise. Alright, she's looking a lot better now. A lot better. As soon as it stops smoking, I'm going to go ahead and shut it off, let it cool down, and then I'll be taking my daughter to the movies. We're going to go see Guardians of the Galaxy. My son said it's great, so if he says it's good enough for me. We're going to go, and then I'll come back and re-season again. Well, there it is, folks, fresh out of the oven, nice and warm in my hand and everything. Great looking white bread. Oh, and it tastes so good. I just took a piece into Wifey and a piece into Grandma. They're laying in the bed, and they said it was great. So tomorrow I expect Wifey to grovel at my feet, you know, acknowledging that I am the superior authority on bread making in this house. Yes, I believe she will grovel. Well, there she is, all clean and spotless and ready to be put back into service once again. And if you're watching this video, it means I didn't break anything in the process. I'm glad I caught you in the kitchen. You said the bread was really good last night, didn't you?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. And I told everybody that you would be groveling at my feet saying how wrong you were and right I am about how it is to make bread.
I'm sorry, but it's still not as good as what I make.
You're not prepared to grovel?
No.
Ethan is going to taste the bread. Tell me what you think of it. I want an honest opinion now. This is the white bread. Grandma refused to grovel. You know, groveling builds character. Honey, groveling builds character.
You know what it tastes like?
Tastes like what?
Bread.
It tastes like bread. It tastes good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Pretty darn good. Yummy. All right, that's what I wanted to hear. The official taste tester has blessed the bread, ladies and gentlemen. Another chore that I have to get done today. Ethan's going to help me. I'm going to take this boat anchor, HQ129X by Hammerlin, and the matching speaker off this wood stove. And this wood stove is going to come off this rock hearth. We're going to have to remove the door. We're going to have to remove the bricks on the inside to lighten it up, because that's a very heavy Englander stove. We've had this thing now, oh gosh, I guess 25 years. And then we're going to tear down the piping, and we're going to bring out the pellet stove I bought, and we're going to get it in place. It's getting near winter, folks. We have to get things ready in that department. 25 years ago, when I put this thing in, I screwed each of the pipes together with sheet metal screws. That kind of kept anything from coming apart on us. I was really worried about that in the beginning. Let's see if I can zoom in here. I just stuck a old sheet metal screw. I stuck 3 of them in every seam and joined the 2 together, and that way I didn't have to worry about the thing moving on me, coming apart, any hot ashes coming out, or not ashes, but you know, hot creosote coming out of the chimney. I'll tell you what, I recommend anybody do that. If you're gonna have a wood stove, screw those pieces together. Yeah, to save money in our household, you know, just to be prepared, I'm going to buy a bunch of old metal army helmets, so we're going to start taking baths out of helmets, right, Grandma? That was a good idea you had there.
We'll think about it.
Yeah, and Grandma came up with an even better idea. She's going to use both sides of the toilet paper from now on, right? Right? Well, progress is being made. As you can see, I have the door off. It just lifts right off the hinges. Now I have to take out the fire bricks at the bottom. And the stovepipe has been taken loose and removed. That wasn't too easy. It made a pretty big mess. I had to get out the old shop vac to clean up after that mess. And then I have a 6-inch hole now up in our ceiling, but I have a remedy for that because the stovepipe on the pellet stove is only 3 inches, and this is 6 inches. So what do we do about that? Not a problem. You'll see. She is out, and you can see where that stove sat for 25 years. That's amazing. That was a good deal on that stove, by the way. They wanted, I think it was $400 or $500, and wifey talked them down to $300. And then the money we saved, we used to buy these stone hearths. They were called cowboy hearths. They're real thick. They're about, oh my God, they're about that thick. And that's solid Arkansas stone. And we picked them up they were $150 a piece. But that, you know, that's okay. I didn't want the house burned down. I wanted something that really protected the wall. And they're insulated from the wall with these ceramic insulators about that long. So that thing's really not against the wall. They don't make them anymore. It was I can't find cowboy hearths, they called them, and it was a father and son deal here in Arkansas. Apparently the father one night stubbed his toe on the hearth they were using for their wood stove, and he got sick of that, so he came up with this design. I thought it was really neat. I think there was only like 2 left after we bought them, and I haven't seen him since, so he's probably passed away by now. And they're heavy. Oh, solid rock, and then with some kind of a fireproof filler in between. Here's the answer to my 6-inch to 3-inch pipe problem I'm going to have with the stove. I had it made. It's just a flat piece of metal with the edges beveled all the way around. It has a kind of a chamfered edge all the way around, and I just got done priming it with black or this real dark Rust-Oleum auto primer. I'm going to go ahead now and spray it flat black. Then I'm going to put a satin finish on it, and it will fasten right up over the existing box with a screw in each corner, fastening it up. Best way I could think about doing it without making a big deal about it. This will work fine, and it'll fit real good, especially with those edges, you know, beveled down like that. Right now I don't have any 3-inch stovepipe, and I'm not sure it'll actually fit through here. I may have to make this a little bit bigger to get. There's a couple of ridges on those pipes that are sometimes a little bit wide, you know, a little bit wider than the diameter of the pipe. So I have to make sure the pipe's going to fit through here before I fasten this plate to that black box on the ceiling. So they said it would be about a week before they could get some in at a place, the only place in town I could find it, which was a place called Tractor Supply. And they said it'd be about a week to have it on the shelf. They just don't have it on the shelf right now. I said, well, no problem. That'll give me time to move the stove and do all this other crap. Anyway, what I'm going to do, meanwhile, is I'm going to take this plastic sheet and I'm going to cover that square box in the ceiling, cover that 6-inch hole. I'm going to fasten it to the box with magnets. I have some earth magnets. I'm going to go ahead and stick it up there, and that'll cover the hole and keep the air conditioning in somewhat. It's only going to be temporary, you know, a few days, and we can go ahead and get this plate on. Whatever it is held up with a magnet. It'll come down real easy when the time comes. Well, she's in place. I've got to put the door on yet, but I wanted to show you the burning area for a pellet stove. For those of you who've never seen one, I showed this a while back when I first got the stove. This is the entire burning area for pellets right here. Right here is an auger. It augers the pellets out, and I'll show you where the pellets come from. They just kind of come out and they drop on this little area right here, and then you have a flame. That's it. That's all there is to it. And there's a fan that blows across some hot tubes inside this box. And then it blows the hot air out here. It blows the hot air out on the top. They have larger stoves, but we don't need one for a house our size. The pellets go in here, 40-pound bags. You put them in the hopper. And then there's an electronic control on the side over here, right there. When you feed your pellets in how hot you want the heat. And then I can put a 40-pound bag in here and go on to work, and wifey does not have to mess with it the entire day. Now the whole idea on this 3-inch pipe is it'll come out of right here, that little 3-inch pipe. It'll be an elbow. It'll come around, and then it'll go right up straight, right up through there into triple wall piping I have all the way up through the attic to the outside of the house. I'll probably stick the 3-inch pipe, oh, maybe 4 feet maybe up in there. Maybe even 5, I don't know, depends on the lengths they have to offer. And I'll just set it right on up through that small opening in the plate that I'll be putting there. That's all there is to it. It'll hold itself in place. It wouldn't be right to have a new stove in and not be christened by the Hammerlin HQ129X and the matching speaker. That took 4 years to find and buy and put together and make it look good and paint it up and everything. Anyway, so now she's fully christened, even though the stove isn't completely hooked up. So I wanted to get to the second part of our new radio series that we've started, and I'm just too tired. If I were to do it tonight or right now, start it tonight or even later tonight, you wouldn't get a good product. I'm going to try to get it done the next few days. It may not make it till Friday or Saturday. Today is Sunday, and I'm really tired. It's been a lot of work just messing with this stove, so I'll do my best to get it done as quickly as I can, but I want to have a good product. Like I said, there's no sense in rushing something and then everybody say, well, that didn't make much sense, you know. Anyway, I appreciate everyone being here. We'll wrap this one up now. Until next time, this is John. That's my old transmitter right there. Well, I thought this video was over, but we have had some action in the egg hole. We have something that came out of the eggshell. It may still be down in it. Yes, it is. I can see a little turtle down in there. Here's your little baby turtle down in there. Let me see if I can get him out. Look at this. Oh, he don't want to come out. He said, leave me alone. He said, leave me alone. I don't want to come out. Look at that. Look at that little turtle. Let me see if I can get him out so he doesn't die. I don't want him to die down in there. I want to get him out. Yeah, look at that little turtle. Oh my goodness. Let me see if I can get him out without hurting him. Well, he's playing hard to get. He doesn't want to come out. There's a recess over to the left that goes in quite a ways. And he's over there hiding, stuck in his shell, I guess. And I've dug a little kind of a path that he can kind of crawl up out of there. Hopefully the other one will be able to do the same thing. I don't know. There's another shell down in there, and maybe the other one will come out of there also. But they're down in there pretty far. This may be the only survivor, this one here. I don't know. But we'll find out. We'll see what happens.